Hello, friends. We've turned the mic on again because it's bad takeout. I'm Jeremy Tomberg. With me always is my partner in crime, Kevin Crowley.
Hello, Jeremy.
Hello, Kevin. We have a special guest tonight sitting with us.
We do.
Did you notice him sitting here?
I did.
Friend, say hello.
Hello.
Why don't you tell us your name, your full name at first?
My full name.
Yes.
My full name.
Your full name.
Like my Facebook full name.
Your full name. So everyone knows who we're talking to.
Well, on Facebook, you know that my name is Froilan Domico Dominic Carmelo. Last name is Regal.
You have 5 names.
5 names?
Yes, 5 names. Well, that doesn't include my middle name.
And you go by?
I go by Froy.
Freud.
That's
Yes.
easy.
That's good. We'll call you Freud tonight.
Okay.
So Froy is our guest, and if you listened last week, Froy's decided to come on to answer some questions for me and Kevin regarding the gay community.
Yes.
He is going to be the gay contingent on our show. He happens to be gay, as well as a giant geek, which is what brought me and him together originally. And we are very good friends, and we thought, well, since Kevin is so
Anti-geek.
anti-geek, we would bring him in to talk about it.
I'm still pretty geeky, but just not in, like, your guys' world.
If you guys have, like I said, we've talked about it many times before, we are both, me and Freud, into Mondo posters and collecting prints and all that kind of geeky stuff, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And we're all wearing glasses.
And we're all, well, no one can see that,
I know.
but
I can see
it sets the picture for people. So Freud, you are a giant geek,
Yes, I am.
and you like collecting these posters with us. How long have you been collecting these posters?
Well, posters in general I've been collecting a long time, probably over 10 years. But I got into the Mondo scene 2.5 years ago, I believe.
It's been a big topic of discussion on our show because Crowley happened to help us the night of the Oscars when we did that. And he was on there hitting the button to help me try to get him. We didn't get much, but he was there. We talked about that. And a couple other times we've talked about it, about some...
It's like pulling a lever on a slot machine. It's like it was a rush to it, which I liked. But the poster that I did win, like, end up getting, like, it's cool and all, but what am I going to do with it? You know, I'm going to sell it.
You just bought it on just that...
Yeah, I sell it just to see if I could win it.
And you did.
And I did.
And now you don't know what to do with it. That's
Yeah.
all right.
I'll sacrifice it to one of you guys.
That's cool.
To the nerds.
And we're also on the Facebook thing, which we're hoping a lot of our friends from the Facebook listen to because they can hear your voice probably for the first time and hear what you sound like, and me. But I've asked them to listen before, but it doesn't mean they have listened.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Yeah.
No one's listening.
No, we get like 20 to 40 views.
That's okay.
We're gonna get. We're gonna do it.
This is our breakout show.
This is it. But besides being a giant geek, which you are, right?
Yes. Well, why do you keep on emphasizing that I'm a giant geek?
Because I happen to think that it's wonderful that I've met this guy who is a giant geek and also gay. Because in my mind, you don't see and maybe I don't know the community is good, but you don't see a lot of like geeky gay guys. You don't see it. Like you are full on, like you got the Coke T-shirt, the glasses, like you are. When you came over the first time, I was like, weren't you with all those hot girls? And like, is one of those your girlfriend? And you were like, no, I'm as gay as a $2 bill.
Oh.
And I had no idea. I just assumed giant geek, Asian guy.
Straight as a corkscrew.
Straight as a corkscrew.
Great, that's a corkscrew. That's the first one.
But like, you know what I mean? Am I crazy to think that are there a lot of geeky gay guys out there?
There are a lot of geeky gay guys out there.
Do you guys have a nickname for each other, like Twink? But like
we're gonna get right into that. I'm not gay, so he wouldn't call me his like bear. He actually almost do have names for each other because he calls me his breeder because I'm not gay.
Yes,
but there's nothing wrong with that. I feel like there's a Seinfeld episode happening right now.
How do you know?
How do I know what?
You're not gay.
How do I know that I'm not gay?
Yeah.
I mean, because I don't know. I guess. How anyone knows if they're...
You would have, like, hooked up with a dude by now if
I would assume I would have tried.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's never happened. I mean, I've had plenty of, like, close friends. I don't mind, like, being friendly with a gay guy, but no, I've never... It doesn't, like... I love tits and ass, man.
Yeah, me too.
Give me a big pair of tits and an ass, and we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
A face doesn't matter.
A little bit of a gash.
You can laugh, bro. You can let it out. It's okay.
Yeah.
You can laugh at our stupidity.
So, like, did you ever have a girlfriend, or like you just went like right in?
I've had a girlfriend.
Okay.
Actually, 2. I've had girlfriends in high school.
And you obviously you slept with them?
Yes. I
Put
did.
it in?
Yes.
Good for you.
They were actually sisters.
Oh, wow.
See that?
That's like pulling rank. That's like straight up like
That's gangster.
that is gangster.
Yeah, I dated an older sister first, and then they were, I was still back in Manila. I dated a first sister. And
That's outside the United States.
You're Manilan?
Filipino.
Okay, just
Filipino just hanging out in Manila.
Yeah, exactly.
Got
That's
it.
the city. But yeah, so I dated the older sister first, and then she went back to Hungary, and then I dated the younger sister.
wow. You're like the
afterwards.
UN
Wow.
Yeah.
all over. Thailand.
That's cool. And then, so when did you know that you were gay?
By that point, I already knew. It's just that everybody was doing the whole girlfriend thing, and I was like, okay, that's the norm. But at that point, I already knew.
All right.
Well, because Jason Collins, that was like one of the big news stories of the week. You know how I like my news stories, Jeremy.
I know. No, I like that you're topical. It makes the show sound so much better.
Yeah, but
Than us just talking like idiots for 45
yeah,
minutes.
we did that like the first 10 and a half episodes,
And it didn't work.
No.
You know what I mean?
Took our first phone call last week.
It sounded good in my opinion. I don't know who heard it, but it sounded good.
Anywho, yeah, but Jason Collins, who is a professional basketball player, came out of the closet, and he's like the first pro. Actually, no, I'm sure there's more. But everyone was like, "Oh, we're waiting for the first gay, professional athlete," and then he came out. And
Who's
everyone-
actively playing? That's what they meant.
Is he
by it.
actively
Yeah.
playing? See, that's my question.
Yeah.
I was going to
Yes.
say that. He is actively playing. Is
He's-
he good or is he like a bench?
He's kind of a schlub,
Okay.
but
Has he been in the NBA for a while? Because I don't know as much about
yeah, I
every
think
player.
he's like a 12-year veteran. He's like 34 or so, and yeah, came out and it was like everyone's like, yeah, like that's so courageous and all that. But there were still the haters out there, still like the anti-gay or I guess homophobic would be the word.
Is
for
he
it.
got a contract right now or is it about to be up?
His contract ended with the Celtics or the Wizards or something.
So he's in between teams?
yeah.
So the question is, we'll find out if the NBA accepts a gay guy, because if he gets picked up by nobody, then I guess we'll have our answer.
Well, I think they kind of have to because, let's say he doesn't get signed and he goes and he's like on Dance with the Stars next year, which could very possibly happen. You like that? It's my pitch.
Why do you assume that because he's gay, he's going to be on Dance with the Stars?
Actually, gays can dance pretty well, right? Can you dance well, for him?
I can
See?
dance, but not all of the gays can dance. I mean,
Okay.
hello. It's just like saying,
Kevin,
I know.
Kevin loves the just assume.
I felt like a real douchebag because we went and saw Django Unchained together, 2 weeks ago or so.
All three of us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a couple other people. And,
Oh, this is fun. You told me this. I know what you're about to say.
and you
This
and
is
I are
great.
sitting together, and I'm just like, oh, let's, start a conversation. So I was just like twiddling on my phone. I'm
And
like,
was it the first time you and Froy kind of met?
no. We hung out when we got the Oscar posters at Studio.
Oh, that's right. See,
88?
posters again.
Yeah.
We've all been hanging out with the
I know.
posters.
I'm not.
G88, yeah.
I'm not in yet. I'm not gonna dip my toe any further in that pool because I'm a compulsive.
So yeah. So we had stepped away, and you and Froy were sitting there together.
And I'm like, so for you're like an interior decorator, right? You're like, no. I'm like, choreographer. I just.
He was just
I
naming.
remember this.
He was just naming any.
So it was
in his
awkward.
mind, any gay job. He was trying to think what was a
But
gay person would have.
I was
He
trying to just be nice and start conversation. Just,
How about just what do you do, Froy?
that's true. Because I knew what he did because he did tell me the first time. But anyway. But
What
no, you're.
Were you blown away by Kevin's?
Actually, I was like, oh, okay. I was just like thinking it was confusing what I told him before, and he just couldn't really remember. So he's just like groping in the dark. But it never occurred to me that you were actually
Oh, good.
groping in the dark, of course.
See that now you're it's funny. It's good.
So I could have just
what do
not mentioned that right now. You'd have been like, oh well. But I did just. But I kind of made the assumption, which is, dumb. I'm not really, very. Living in LA for 5 years and working in Hollywood, there's a lot of gays, So
Right.
you either have to accept it or just be a
what's not see
shithead.
that's what I don't get. What's not to accept? See, that blows my mind. Like at the end of the day, I've always felt like it doesn't matter to me if you're gay or straight. So whatever you do is what you do. Whether I don't go down the street and wonder what two heterosexual people do behind closed doors. So what does it matter to me if there's two dudes doing whatever they're doing behind closed doors?
I agree
That's
with
how
you.
I feel.
I agree with you, but it depends on kind of the house you were brought up in. Or if you grew up in the Catholic Church, which I did, you're kind of taught these thoughts that is, for the most part, anti-homosexual. So if you kind of grow up in that world and you're not exposed to it until you're in your mid-20s, like I was, or actually early 20s. I knew some gay people in New York, but out here it's just much more.
It's more prevalent and
Yes.
more like less taboo than other parts.
Like
of the
West
country.
Hollywood, for example, has a whole like strip, and there's parts of in other cities you see the rainbow flags and all that. You see that in New York City also, but when I was growing up, it was kind of a taboo subject, but it wasn't.
Now all the gays are in your face, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, the last show I worked on, I was kind of not surprised, but I was like, oh wow, there are like a lot of younger gay gentlemen, working here, and it's like very like flamboyant, and like all that. How do you feel about those?
How do you feel about those gays?
Right,
Do you hear the way he
See how fucking okay? I'm gonna be quiet.
No.
Let you talk.
This is good. This is why you're here, right?
But I'd like to know your opinion on like the different like is there any part of like the gay lifestyle of people that gay guys who do certain things that you're like, oh man, come on.
He's basically saying, do you see someone like sometimes like you see like a gay guy and be like, oh my god, this guy is so gay.
Well, I mean,
he's basically putting it out
every
like,
so often. I would say, "Oh God, I'm gay, but I'm not that gay."
Tone it down.
See,
I know what you mean, but
because you, like I said, you're a complete like I've never met a gay like you. Like you're just so, you know what I mean? Like you're so.
I don't even know if that's a compliment or something.
No, it's
is.
wonderful. I'm not saying I have like a lot of really like I have a lot of buddies who are straight, a lot of buddies who are gay. It doesn't matter, but you're just like I've never had a buddy who's like straight up like Star Wars, Marvel Comics. Like I've never had like a gay buddy. Most of my friends that are gay that I've met like in the industry, if I talk about like comic books or bring up like Star Wars movies or like going to like these kind of like to do these print stuff, they'd look at me like like.
Well, for me, it's just that those are the things that I'm interested in.
Of course,
you're a person.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
That's all it comes down to.
Exactly. Now, as far as gay guys who act more flamboyant or whatnot, it's just.
Are you always the man in your relationships? Is that how it works?
Good question.
You know what I mean?
No. Well,
how does that work?
That's a misnomer, actually, because I know queens who are like power tops.
What's a power top?
We got it. This is what we're going for.
Just open that door.
We were hoping for all this wonderful conversation.
They are, they pitch as opposed to receive.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, I think it's more generational, to be perfectly honest. Now, these younger guys have sort of the license to just be who they are.
Right.
So
Different than like you grew up, like you said, like in Manila, who you were dating girls to like kind of fit in. Now it's like not that it's like never been okay, because it's always okay, but like now it's like almost not approved, but it's like people get.
it's just.
If you're a gay guy in high school, I feel like more people are more accepting of you now. If you're out and you're gay and this is your boyfriend in high school,
but there's still parts in the country. Like,
of course.
Where
there's people in the country who hate Jews and hope to God that there's never a Jew in their little side. There's people like that.
Yeah, I mean down south,
people don't like blacks all over. I mean, it's all over. There's still hatred. There's ignorance everywhere. We were on Facebook today, like. Hopefully people are listening to this because I would love for people to hear this. There was a thing on Facebook today. We're in these poster groups, me and Froy and a bunch of buddies that we know, and someone was selling some posters, and then all of a sudden one comment was made about Chick-fil-A, and then it started like a tirade of people getting upset, and this one guy was like, just like totally defending the fact that a man and a woman should get married, and anything outside of that is pretty much not normal, and everyone's getting.
I mean, to his defense, I'm not defending him. He was just saying that the definition of marriage shouldn't be redefined. If you noticed, I actually did not participate.
No, I know. I know you stayed out of it. But I kind of felt like when I was arguing, I kind of felt like, well, fuck you. Freud's on this thing. Like, he's going to see this. And, like, why would you ever offend one of our friends who does this, who collects in these posters with us? Why would you say something to offend one of us? Like, even if you have these opinions, shut the fuck up and don't say it on Facebook.
I gotta disagree with you.
Well, go ahead.
I mean, like, if he really does feel that way, he's an asshole, in my opinion. I mean, he's ignorant.
Okay.
But he should still be. And
fair enough. And I said that too. I said over the comment back and forth. I said you're allowed your opinion. You are right, Kevin.
But you're an asshole.
But you're an asshole. You're a douche.
Okay, yeah, and you have the liberty to say that.
Like we said, it's 2013. It's not 1955. In 1955, blacks couldn't get married. They couldn't vote. They were taking shits in separate toilets. It was a horrible place. It
Well,
made
who
no.
shits in a public toilet to begin with?
Well, I couldn't agree more. Like I wait all day to come home.
Yeah.
I'm lucky enough to work down the street right now. So in like worst case scenarios, when I'm working at CBS and I
gotta
have
take
to
a phone
go,
call.
I'm like, hey guys, I gotta take a phone call. Dip out back in 15 minutes. Thank God.
You're
because
taking a bowl clogger and you come back.
I'm in
all
a
guilty.
bungalow right now at CBS, a built bungalow. So it's just like an oversized trailer,
Mhm.
Bigger office trailer, and the bathroom is like basically right where we all are. So if you take a shit, everybody in the office knows that Jeremy clocked in at 2:55, and at 3:15 he came out, and it was horrendous.
But it's also like the freedom where you're in a public bathroom. Let's say you're like taking a piss and you hear someone like, dropping like, pellets in the toilet.
Beep-loops,
You
beep-loops.
can laugh. You can say whatever you want
And
as
they
long
can't-
as you get out.
before
but you
he
just gotta
got.
hope they don't see your shoes and they'll track you down. But
Have you done that? Have you been like in a bathroom?
every time someone is shitting in a public toilet, I always like guffaw. I laugh my ass off.
Go fall.
I'm just like, ah, and they're like, what? No one's actually ever talked back to me. But I don't like shitting in public toilets.
I
Anyway.
can't do it. No, you don't have.
But that like defines. That's like the definition of like you don't shit where you eat. Like that now that means like don't have sex with anyone you work with or like.
Yeah, but if that's the case, I never would have been with my girlfriend. I met my girlfriend at work.
Yeah.
And we've been together now in only 10 days. We'll have been together for 4 years.
But I wonder where like the origin of that saying came from. Like, cause someone must have taken a terrible like.
Shit at work.
Yeah. Like, dude, you don't shit, or like at like a restaurant, and they're like, it's like, dude, you don't shit where you eat.
Like, yeah, it ruined the restaurant for them.
Mm.
Do you like our conversations about?
I do,
How,
yeah.
how do you feel about, as a gay man? How do you feel about shitting in public?
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, exactly.
See, I
You
can't
just
do
gotta
that.
It
go.
doesn't matter.
No.
You sit
gotta go,
cross-legged
you
on the
gotta
toilet.
go. Exactly.
Just
What'd you say?
nothing.
No, you have to. Go
I
ahead.
just like sitting like a gentleman on the toilet, because I sit like this, and I noticed that
You
Freud
sit
did
with,
as
you
well.
sit with a
I
cross leg.
sit cross-legged.
Well,
you
you
know?
sit like a gentleman. I sit with cross
It
legs.
hurts my penis sometimes, but
But when you sit with your legs crossed, that's what
No.
you get when you sit like a gentleman. As you say, presidents sit like
yeah,
that. Presidents, gay men,
Mhm.
people that want to look fancy.
People that want to look.
When I was fat, I couldn't sit like that. When we used to live together, we
Mhm.
used to joke about it because I just wouldn't. It didn't make sense. But now that I'm a little svelter, I can sit with the legs crossed, and it's no problem.
but it doesn't look comfortable.
Well, I'm sitting at a couch right now.
Still, that should be. You should lean back and rock that, but you just don't want to. You can't.
You're saying I'm not a gentleman.
Right. In so many words. So back to this whole party, what is it? Power bottom.
Power bottom.
Because
because-
Jeremy called me a twink last week.
And then I told him that at dinner, when we had dinner the other night together, you told me that I would be
A bear cub.
a
Yeah.
bear cub.
Now, so he would be would I be a twink?
What would Kevin be?
You would be a twink.
I don't want to be a
Yeah.
twink.
Well, it's just it's the demeanor. It's how you look. You
Uh-huh.
look younger. when
What
you're
are you?
Shaven. I can be considered a twink, but at my size right now, no.
I love it. That's my favorite thing about you. That's why I love calling you fat, because you are perfectly thin, and yet you
You're
think
like my size.
yeah, you're like scrawny, and yet
I'm scrawny.
you think you're fat, right? And like legitimately, like
Yes.
not even lying. You're not just saying it for like to be dramatic. You actually think you're fat.
Yes, I do.
How much do you might? Is it bad to ask?
See,
How
now
much
it's
do you
going to
weigh?
really
You never
sound
ask.
so
You never
bad.
ask a lady how much you weigh.
Exactly.
How much do you weigh?
146.
And how much do you weigh, Kevin?
146.
That's ridiculous. We joke on every episode that Kevin has to buy boys' clothes to fit into because he's so scrawny, and yet you weigh the same amount as him, and you're calling yourself fat. And then I'm sorry to get angry, but if you're fat, that means I'm obese. in
Would
the gay
Jeremy be
community.
attractive in the gay community?
He would have a certain segment in the gay community that would
Yes!
be so into him.
So fuck you, Kevin.
Yeah.
The gay men love me.
And I'd just be like country buffet, huh?
pretty much. You're like next.
Jesus
So
Christ.
who would get more guys?
Well, it's specific though. You will have a specific.
What gay
You
guy's
know.
coming up to me? Like, that's in your mind. Like, what gay guy is going to come up to me and be like, oh, Look at this
gay
Jewy-looking
guys
kid.
who are into like bears and cubs, pretty much, and the same way that
Does that mean I can only get fat guys or no?
no.
Okay.
Sometimes you
Because I'm not going to be with a fat
Super-
guy. I'm telling you right now.
I kid you
I'm not going to do that.
I know. I had a friend actually. He's about 5'10", 250, 270
Okay.
around that time.
Because I weigh nowhere near that.
Had the hottest boyfriend.
That's what I'm saying, Kevin. That's what I'm
Hot,
saying.
like the definition of hot, like ripped, blonde, good-looking guy, and the guy was really into. He was a chub chaser.
That's what are you laughing at me? Because I'm
No.
chubby?
No.
You laughing because I'm fat?
I
You
didn't
know
call
what?
you a chub chaser.
You'd be thrown. You're nothing. You're like every day, like take you home, use you like a piece of
Yeah.
shit, and then throw you out and never call you. At least people are gonna love me.
Mm.
So fuck you.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. Because I went to when I first lived out here. I was working on a show, and my boss had a party at the Abbey. She had her birthday party at the Abbey.
I've been
When
to
was
the Abbey.
this?
Hmm?
When was this?
This was 4 years ago or so.
Okay.
And it was my first time ever. I didn't even know it was a gay club. But as soon as like my buddy Aaron and I parked, we were working together at the same time, and we went together. And as soon as we parked, I was like, okay, like it's a really nice neighborhood. It's clean. And then I see a bunch of hot girls in there, and I'm like, wow, like walking in. But as soon as you like get in there, you see drag queens and all that. I was actually a drag queen who started dancing with me, and it was.
Did you know she was a drag queen when you?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I was like, and he. Okay.
Do they? I mean, right? If it's a drag, I mean, they're still a he, or they're not.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
want
It's
it?
like their day job.
Yeah.
If you're
Like their day job.
transsexual,
That means you had like the surgery, right?
Yes.
so if you're a transvestite, you still have a penis and testicles.
Yes.
So you refer to them as he.
it really, when they're in drag, some prefer to be referred to as a she because that's the illusion.
Okay, like in character.
And then I know we're going off your story. I'm sorry.
Well,
but
that was it. It was just, I was there, and as I was leaving, this drag queen, like, she took, like, her index finger, like, pointing me on the nose, and I'm like, okay, like, let's hit the road there.
all right, now
Let's get some pussy.
let's go get
Why
some.
though? Why did you feel that way?
No, it was just, it was a little awkward. That's it.
Why was it awkward?
Because, you're not used to that kind of stuff.
I don't feel awkward with you. Like me and you, we hang out all the time. Now we hang out quite a bit, and I'm not awkward on you. But if like you were to make a move on me, then it would start to be awkward, right?
It would be, but yeah, it would be. Definitely.
It would be. I mean, it
But
would
you guys
be for
just-
me.
Yeah.
You guys are still friends to where you just be like, dude, like, no, I'm not into that. I've actually never
Well,
been...
no. Like we've been friends long. He knows I'm straight. I know he's gay. We've been friends for a long time, and we've hung out, well outside of just like hanging out for posters. Like we hang out on a regular basis. If like one night we were hanging out drinking, and then he made a move on me, that would cease to be
That would
awkward.
be crossing a definite line. But what I'm saying is, what I'm asking
Mhm.
is, why did he feel awkward? Because this drag queen was, and I'm using the word loosely, hitting on him. I mean, it would be like akin to me. I'm in a straight bar, and a drunk girl started hitting on me. I'm like, girlfriend,
Right, like you
we're
told me,
down
I'm
for the same thing,
like you
but
told me,
but
I'm
I
there than the
won't-
$2, but you're not gonna be mean
but
or
I
disgusted by
won't be
it.
awkward. I won't feel
See,
awkward.
I think maybe years ago, maybe 10 years ago when I came to LA,
Mhm.
if that happened, I would maybe feel awkward. But now, I don't think I would feel awkward anymore.
Yeah,
It wouldn't bother me.
I was at a bar. I played open mic with my buddy, and it was a pool table, and we had already played. I'm in the back, just kind of listening to music and having a beer, and this guy's like, "Hey, you want to play some pool?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I got the sense that he was, may or may not have been gay. Who knows? And I didn't mention anything. I was just kept it, to
Friendly, kept
conversation.
it friendly.
Yeah, and I'm like, "That's very Kevin." Like
You were proud of yourself.
You're progressing. Like, you're an accepting individual.
Well,
Like, I know I'm not homophobic the same way I know I'm not racist. Because, like, I like Queen. Queen's really good. I just saw The Birdcage the other day.
and you love the Birdcage.
It's
I love the
fucking
Birdcage.
funny movie.
So
And,
that's
like, I know I'm not racist because I, like, root for black families on Family Feud. Like, that's my justification for knowing I'm not racist.
I don't think you're racist. Like I said, like I have no problem. The only time it would be a problem with like a gay guy and me is if like like you said, if he crossed like a definite barrier. But if some guy doesn't know, if you're hanging out at the Abbey and some guy thinks you're cute, you could always say like, I'm straight. You keep dancing, whatever you're gonna do. But like, it's not like you have to be like, you faggot, and punch him and do like that. That's not needed anymore. That's
totally.
not like
You can't do that.
It's just not right anymore. It doesn't, and it wouldn't feel right anymore to do that. Like, it's just, he doesn't know, you don't know. The other day I was at work, and I can't say who it was because I'm not confidential. But a celebrity came in, and the celebrity came in complete drag, like not like it wasn't part of the shtick or show. Like, this was just him doing this for like the part, just to do this. And he was walking up to everybody in drag, guys, girls, and kind of like rubbing their hair and touching their faces. Some people in the office were a little awkward. It didn't bother me. And like some people, I feel like it might have bothered. Like if this person that you know is a guy in drag came up to you and in a joking way started rubbing your face and touching your nose and like kind of caressing your arm, I think it might bother you.
Oh yeah, it would.
See, it didn't bother me. I was just there playing.
No, see, bother is. I mean,
I'm not saying bother.
It would make me feel uncomfortable.
Right.
That's it.
You can't let it go that it's just a guy goofing around.
Not really. I mean, but I still really like Freud. I still like.
No, you're not.
I'm really sorry, man.
No, That's
his disclaimer. I still really like Freud,
Yeah.
but mind you, I'm not hitting on him. I am not touching him in any way.
Freud, keep your hands to yourself.
No, I don't think it's wrong to feel it. I'm just saying, like, I'm asking, like, what about it that you can't just let it go, knowing this person is just goofing around? Like, there's no point where this is gonna get serious, or where he's gonna like step over like a real like kiss you, touch you boundary. Like, he's just playing around. How come if you know he's playing, that's not okay? Be honest.
No, it's just if it had happened and I was at work or like in your situation, I
played it cool. I joked around.
I would have done the same thing.
Okay.
Like,
but you would have been eked out by it.
Maybe.
See, I thought it was funny. Like, I thought it was hysterical. Like, it didn't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, really, whatever anybody.
Does that mean I'm gay, Kevin?
I think so. You're a cub bear.
A bear cub. What am I?
A bear cub.
A bear cub. So at least I'm not a bear. A bear would mean I'm really fat, right?
Bear would be huge, yes.
So I'm not huge.
You're not huge.
See, at least he's telling me that. At least you used to call me all kinds of names.
Tits. Just call you man tits.
It's not nice. He used to call me
Grotesque.
is what he used to use to describe me when we lived together. He didn't say that until I started losing weight, though, to his defense.
Well, it was like your motivation.
You were like my Mickey in the corner.
I was.
Like, in my ear, just...
Well, I just started doing...
Get up, rock!
The Insanity Workout. Have you seen the infomercial?
I have seen the infomercial.
Sidebar? Shanti?
Yes. What?
Shanti is gay.
The dude?
The dude. The black dude doing, yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
And
You just ruined... He'll never do Insanity again.
I probably won't look at him the same way, because I'm like, dude, if I ever met this dude Sean T, like...
How do you know he's gay? Have you guys hooked up?
What's he?
No.
What would he be referred to as in the gay community?
A tiger?
He's just a jock.
Jock.
A jock.
So, I mean...
I'm sorry, I mean...
There are certain segments that you have, that they have, like, sort of like a bear cub, or like in a cub community, or a bear, what have you.
A cub community.
But
are there
by
meetings?
and large,
Like a cub community? You say community, like there's a meet. Is there like a
there's
cub?
yes, there's like an actual. There are like bars that caters exclusively to to burly gay men, and hairy men.
So like if
if you want.
No. I mean, I don't really need to. I'd like to. I would always think that. I have a girlfriend now, but I always thought if I go to a gay bar with a gay friend and there's a lot of hot girls, he can help me get the hot girls.
Because hot girls love gay guys.
Right. But I'm saying, like, right, how are my chances? If I were to go with you, Nicole, hit mute for a couple minutes. If I were to go to a gay bar with you and there were like a bunch of hot broads there, would I have better chances of getting, like, laid with these hot broads if I was there with a gay guy? He's like, oh, this is my... he's not gay. He's here to, like,
Well, if you play your cards right.
But I'm saying, are my chances better going into a gay bar to hook up with a hot girl, or are they there not to, like...
Your chances are better just because there wouldn't be any competition as far as other straight guys hitting on
Because they wouldn't go in there, because there's so many ignorant assholes like you, Kevin, who wouldn't go into the gay bar.
I don't go to many clubs...
Anymore, I know.
Any kind of clubs, like, really? Unless there's, like, a birthday or something and I'm, like, dragged there. But... I don't really think that, like, in the straight community or whatever it is, like, there isn't segmented bars. Like there isn't like a fat chick bar. Well, I guess you
no.
go to like Arby's or like Ruby Tuesdays.
Right.
Pick up a chubber.
Yeah, we don't have those. We can't like say like we're gonna go to the blonde bar where all the hot blondes with
Right.
big tits are gonna be.
Well, yeah, but that's the funniest thing about straight bars and straight clubs too, is you could clearly see the line between the girls are over here and then the guys are over here, and it's like sharks circling each other,
Mhm.
waiting for the first blood to be drawn. Whereas in gay clubs or gay bars, it's just like one pool of nastiness.
Oh, you got Kevin on that one.
Jesus, no, because you see like video or pictures from like gay pride parades, and like some of these dudes are just like, like they're going at it in like an alleyway.
I'll tell you, in Hollywood, I've seen like I've seen, not that I haven't seen like guys and girls going at, but I've definitely in Hollywood in the 8 years I've lived here, I've seen a lot more gay men like have no problem going at it like in public places.
Where?
Way more. I can tell you straight up.
Please.
Hollywood, Argyle, and Hollywood. If you take, it's basically
Like on the street?
Swear to God, when I lived in Hollywood, I used to live in Franklin and Argyle.
Uh-huh.
And down, if you would take my street all the way down to Hollywood Boulevard, there's now it's a bunch of different stuff. It used to be, it's right next to the Palladium.
Yes.
Okay, every weekend for like 4 months or something, me and my buddy John Payne would always go on Saturdays and go get like a late night dinner. And every night on the way home, we would inevitably see in this one area 2 gay guys like going at it, whether it's Blow Jays or anything hardcore, at the same spot all the time. It was like
Well, one of the first things I was
and I haven't seen guys and girls going at it as much.
right. Well, I mean, but
because it's part of the gay culture, to be perfectly honest.
Really?
Since we were repressed for a time, so anything and anywhere, as long we call it, as long as it's called location. It's dark. 2 people can fit in. Do it.
Jesus.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've tried, I've tried, hooking up with girls, and like I remember I hooked up with this one girl in college, and we were both kind of like, a little under the influence, and we're looking at the stairwell of my dorm, and I'm like going nuts with this girl in the thing. I'm like, I can't do this. This is a public place. Like anyone could come up or down the stairwell, and it got like to like PG-13 pretty quickly.
I don't think
but that's not to say though that every gay guy or lesbian do that.
No,
it's just that
Of course, we're not putting a whole.
Well, one of the first things
How many times have you done it in location, Darks? Well, how many times has that happened for you?
Here's the location.
I'm pleading the fifth on that one.
You don't have to answer that.
So there's what you said. Was it Party Tops?
Party top.
No, I think you said Power Top.
Power
Top.
and there's other power
What?
bottoms.
Yes.
What's a power bottom?
I think
a power bottom is just they just take it.
Oh my God.
Take what they
now you have
give
what's
them.
under a power? Is there something under power? Why does it have to be power? Why does it be a power top and a power bottom? Like, does that mean like is there like a lesser than that? Is there like a medium bottom? And
No. It's just that it's just this this weird way of saying that.
This is definitely the gay show.
Yeah,
like we have definitely.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gay.
I told you we're gonna have Freud's our gay contingent,
It's great,
and
man.
once in a while we'll bring them in. Whenever you want. Oh, you're having fun, right?
Oh yes, I am.
This is
definitely.
great.
Because this is all the stuff that straight friends like joke with each other. Like every straight guy, unless you're like a Mormon or like you've all called your buddy like a faggot. Like, come on, man, don't be a fag.
Does that offend
Does
you?
that offend you?
Yes, it does.
It does.
Yeah,
Shit.
that particular word really offends me. I mean,
In context or in general?
in general.
Okay.
In
I
general.
apologize.
So you would,
It's fine.
but you would never say like to your like gay friends, "Oh, stop being a fag" or "Stop your." But you wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't personally.
Are there gay guys who do that?
Yes.
So it's just like no different than a
It's
black
like
guy.
nigga.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
But Jews don't do that. Like I've never met a Jew. Hey, what's up, kike? And like we don't do that.
Evie Hammy.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Aha.
We don't have that. Yeah. Aha, good to see you.
Yeah, we don't, Irish, I mean, whites, we're crackers, I guess.
But you don't say "What up, Cracko"?
No, but I've been called a cracker by black people. That's racist. I've experienced racism.
I've
So
experienced
my
it.
only choice is to dole it back out. No. Anyway, so So that word, the F word.
Is offensive
It's
to you.
definitely offensive.
It hurts your feelings if you hear it in any context.
In any context.
Okay.
That's
In
not.
any context.
Now, what if we were to say like, "Oh, stop being gay"? Is that because when I grew up? Now,
I can see it.
but when I was growing up, now this is just it's not today. But like when I was growing up in like school, like grade school and junior high, like that was a big thing you said. Like, stop being gay. Like, don't be
but
gay.
what exactly do you mean?
See, I don't mean don't be like gay like you. I don't mean it like that. If I say
It'll be different. Well,
yeah,
okay.
I don't mean like don't be a gay guy having gay sex. If Kevin's like doing something stupid or something like that, it could be any ridiculous.
Well, then why
thing.
don't you say don't be stupid?
I'm just saying because when I was growing up, that was like what was in.
Right.
I don't do it
Exactly.
now. It never comes out now. Don't be gay. Like once in a while, maybe it comes out.
Well, because it gives this connotation that being gay means being stupid or whatever
right.
it is that you're interchanging the word gay for.
It's true.
So it's really not kosher. See what I did?
Yeah, hiya.
This
Good
is
job.
an educational episode.
Yeah, no.
So yeah, I mean,
I
by and
understand.
large, if it's among you guys who I consider friends, and you say don't be gay, I really don't take that much offense to it. No, I don't even take offense to it.
Because we've been out together a bunch of times, and you've said like, "Oh my God, that's so gay." You said that. You
Yes.
have said that.
Yes, I have said that.
But I would never. I don't say that. I try. I try to be. Nice around. I don't want to be
Who the
offensive.
fuck are you kidding?
I don't want to be offensive to anybody.
All right.
I don't want to hurt.
Did you listen to
someone's-
the first 10 episodes?
I'm not trying. We've never hurt
I
anyone's
know.
feelings.
No, it's all in comedy. So so obviously if like someone throws like a Molotov through like a gay bar and says, "Yeah, like die you
Yeah.
blanks,"
Yeah.
for that I'll say it. That has a much different context than, like, God, don't be a.
Yeah. Still,
It hurts. It hurts.
It still is
Okay.
because it doesn't disempower you, who is not a gay person, using that doesn't really disempower the word at all. If anything, it really forces the stereotype, the
Yeah.
insult. So,
But obviously, again, I can't think of like you're not very religious, but if someone like were to
There's nothing you could call me that I would take offense to. Maybe like stupid. I mean it, like, because that's, I think that would be the one thing. But that's anybody could be stupid.
But and obviously I've known you for long, so if I wanted to say something that could hurt you, I could. Like you could do to me, but you don't do that. So like if I did know that one thing that could hurt your feelings, and I did it in a way where I was talking to someone else and I offended you, to just you wouldn't like it. It's no different than like saying don't be a fag or
Well, if you
don't
call
be
out,
gay. You're hurting someone. It doesn't mean anything to you, but someone that might overhear you or whatever, it's extremely offensive to them.
if you deliberately and personally like try to hurt somebody's feelings in any reason, like you're just being an asshole. I mean, people are going to continue to do it.
No, and I agree with you. Like the Patrice O'Neal thing. If you're trying to be funny, you shouldn't get shit on for
No.
trying to be funny. But if you constantly are saying a derogatory word to try to be funny, it ceases to be funny anymore, and you are starting to be offensive.
Well, yeah, in the last 10 years, man. I mean, and there's it's like a double-edged sword because we've become very hypersensitive. I think
We have.
while trying to not hurt anybody's feelings, and I think we.
But think about all the suicide. Think of how much bullying has become such a big thing now. Like I know, like every 15 years we find a new thing. Like ADD was like 15 years ago, and now it's bullying. I know we find things, but bullying's a big thing. There's lots of people killing themselves because they go to school and they're gay and they want to come out, and someone calls them a fag and they beat them up for being gay, and then they go home and they off themselves and they have no chance to live their life because some asshole was ignorant.
See, now I don't like a hate crime. Who was the Sean? What? Not Sean White. He's the snowboarder.
He's a redheaded.
Matthew Shepard.
Matthew Shepard. Yes. Like that was groundbreaking. That like really and it was what, Washington State, I think.
Colorado.
And he was like brutally.
No, Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Sorry, Wyoming.
And he was brutally beaten and like.
Left for dead, pretty much.
Yeah, and they like hung him up, and like, that really showed like how I think that was a terrible incident that may have kind of progressed the gay rights, and that whole thing, the acceptance, and that was a terrible story. All these, anytime someone is like, killed, it happens all over the world too, not just in this country.
No,
but
of course,
I think the United States and Americans are just a little too sensitive and that's gonna the kids who are being raised right now with you can't say Merry Christmas or it's Happy Holidays. You get rid of Christmas trees and stuff like that. It's just like everybody is the same.
Well, they're just. I agree with you.
And
on some
it's
level.
the
agree too.
pussification of America.
I do agree, but it doesn't mean that just because it doesn't. You got to pick your battles, and we shouldn't live in a world where being able to walk around and say racist things anymore or say bigotry things. Those things, it's not cool. Like you watch Django Unchained. You should not be able to talk to people the way they've done in Django. You should not be able to walk up to black people. Oh, there's a nigger on a horse. Yeah. Like that. That's not cool. No, it's not cool. So that's different than saying the Merry Christmas thing. Like that's a whole different whole different Pandora's box.
Sure.
If we're all walking around calling people gays or making fun because they're gay or making because they're black or Jew and saying hateful things like we used to, it's not a good word. It's not a good world to live in.
But also, every kid gets a trophy, and
that's wrong. You're right, and that's a whole different box.
No, I think it all kind of comes and I think it comes together at some points. I mean, there's a lot of loose ends there, but at the pace we're at now, I think everybody will be accepted. I think gays will be able to get married in the next 5 years. I think, if not 10 nationally.
I'm not getting married until gay marriage is legal.
Okay, Brad Pitt.
Oh yeah, is that what he said?
Is that what he says?
Yeah, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie said they're not going to get married until.
I think they're married. Aren't they married?
They're not married yet. I don't think so.
I don't know.
They just have bastard children. Take that
from all over the world.
Well, did you see the Jennifer Aniston DUI? Not
Reese Witherspoon.
I
happened to hear the voice, because they released it. I happened to check TMZ. I can't help it. I love that fucking website. And they had the audio, and at the...
I'm sorry.
You can't do that.
It's a joke. Continue anyway.
So they played the audio. At the end of the audio, she's saying you can't do this to me. I'm an American and I have rights. And she's going off about I'm just an American. And she's saying the dumbest shit. All the guy is saying is don't talk. I'm talking to him. Just wait a minute. And she goes off and finally she goes, do you know who I am? You're gonna find out who I am. And she's getting all hard. He's like, I don't care who you are. Well, I'll get your name later. Oh, she sounded so stupid.
I haven't watched it because I know how uncomfortable a DUI dashboard camera is, and I can't watch it. But because it's cringy to see that, because she's being such a pretentious fucking celebrity. I'm sure she may be a very nice person, but just knowing the facts behind.
But what does that say when you're drunk? It's like the Mel Gibson shit. Mel Gibson plays his shit cool, but when he's drunk, he tells his girlfriend to suck his dick, and he called some Jew cop all the problems in the world, and this was all when they're drunk. So I believe your true shit comes out when you're drunk.
Maybe.
I get extremely loud and goofy, and I want to just scream out the top of my head and yell goofy things when I'm drunk, and I think that's the real me.
In vino veritas, so to speak.
Ooh, what was that? Was that gay song?
Valerian?
What was that?
Latin for in wine there's truth.
Yes.
Look at you. We need to have the gay contingent on more because we learned so much.
It's educational.
I love it.
I gotta say,
wonderful.
Yeah. No, let's see what else.
No. Go back to what we were saying. But the whole truth in wine. I think that's true. She was being the real her.
Mm.
You know what I mean? The real her was coming out. She might be this celebrity when she's playing it cool on the Oscars, dressed up pretty with the kids and looks all nice, blah blah blah. But when she's drunk, all of a sudden it's you know who I am. You better find out who I am because you're gonna be in trouble.
The trailer park came out.
You can take what's the frame? You can take the girl out the trailer park, but you can't take the trailer park out the girl.
Yep.
Yeah, she's probably a bitch like the rest of them.
Well, then you also have to look at it the other way. She was drunk, obviously, so she wasn't probably in complete control of her faculties.
So is that okay? Was Mel Gibson okay?
No, of course not.
Okay.
There are just some things that even when you're drunk. I mean, the thing is, even when you're drunk, you are aware of what you're doing. You just can't control it. It just comes out.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
I've fallen down flights of stairs. I've fallen off walls.
In college, if I drink, there's a few beverages that really mess me up. If I drink vodka, no one's got a problem.
Yeah.
I can drink all night, no problem. I drink a whole bottle, everything's cool.
I can do scotch pretty well.
Yeah, I've seen you scotch. I see you
3-4 on the rocks, and I'm teetering,
but you're so normal.
Yeah.
I drink tequila. Oof. Too much tequila, I lose vision. And if I drink Jack Daniels,
Oh yeah.
it's over, Johnny. Like I will kick. I turn into a violent,
Yep.
violent person,
That's
but
what Jack
only with
Daniels
Jack.
does.
Why is that?
I got into a fist fight with like a playful fist fight with my brother Brian the night before we graduated from college. I gave him a black eye. We're throwing each other across the room, just laughing like assholes.
It's all over Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, man, it's just it brings out the boxing gloves.
I stopped drinking in college. I remember drinking some Jack Daniels and Coke one night. We got shit faced, and it ended with me and one of my best friends in college punching each other in the face. He's got my glass in his hand. He's like, "If you punch me, I'm gonna break your glasses." So I just fucking decked him, broke my glasses. Yeah. We're fighting, all thanks to Jack Daniels.
And laughing.
I don't remember any laughter.
See,
the next morning there was laughter, and it was fine. We all got the glasses fixed, and it was fine. What's your drink of choice?
Back when I used to drink hard drinks,
yeah.
it's tequila and vodka.
Oof.
Tequila and at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Three Wise Men. It's like it's no, actually I think
there's only two.
Yeah,
there would have to be a third person for it to be Three Wise Men. Yeah. You would mix tequila and vodka?
Well, no, vodka and then tequila. And then wait a few minutes, probably 10, and then do another vodka and tequila.
Yeah, when I went to I've only been able to drink tequila well in one place, and it was in Mexico. Because anytime I drink tequila, it doesn't matter if it's Patron, Cuervo, whatever, like 3 or 4 shots, and which is a lot of booze.
That is a lot of booze.
So, but that's when I'm like falling down uncomfortably, headbutting friends in the testicles.
Have you ever gotten violently, like get drunk and then turn violent?
No, I haven't, but I have a penchant for doing the street sales after the bars close.
What does that mean?
Well,
yeah, after 2 o'clock the bars close, right?
Sure.
So everybody mills about outside the bar or whatever establishment you're at. So everybody milling about are like, last chance hookup. So that's a street sale.
Oh.
So you're out there hoping that in just 2 seconds...
I'll be like, you, let's go.
That's that easy?
Yeah.
See, this is why being gay has advantages.
Yeah, right?
You just walk out of a bar.
Well, I mean, it's not like... it's not like... I mean, you like, like...
You talk for a couple seconds, couple minutes, and then you're like, you want to come over,
a
and
little
that's
tube
it.
Squeeze, and it's over.
It's over.
See,
yeah, pretty much like that.
I'll tell you right now. Let's put this into the straight scenario.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to end soon.
No,
we don't. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah.
All right. Let's keep going.
How dare you?
Excuse me. You looked at me like you were gonna want to end.
No.
Anyways, put it in the straight scenario. Club ends.
Mm-hmm.
We're a little lit. Walking down the street. Everyone's milling about. And I went up to 2 bras and I was like, "Hey, what's going on? Blah 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 blah. Talk 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 talk. I do this. Look at me. Big dick, big dick. You and you. You're coming with me." Do you know what those two would say to me? It would be a barrage of laughter and just like giggling, and the two of them would just make out and walk away.
Yeah.
And I would be staying there looking like a douche.
Well, I mean, it's not that. I mean, you make it sound like it's that easy, but it's not. I mean,
Do you get turned down a lot? Do you get like turned down?
Get turned down
at party time, whatever it's called.
Street sales.
Street sales.
No, I've had my share of like, go home, you're drunk,
But then there's been other nights where like, let's go, pretty boy.
But yeah.
All right.
I've had my share of hookups.
Good for you.
So to speak.
You did say you went on a date the other night. You gonna tell me how that went?
It went well, actually. We went out for dinner. Had a good talk.
Arranged?
Did he ask you or did you ask him?
It was a mutual thing.
So who
like,
paid?
yeah, you wanna go out to dinner? I was like, sure, let's go out to dinner.
That's a good question.
Well, yeah. Here's my rule, and this is a personal rule.
So everyone knows, this is not a gay rule for every gay.
Yeah.
This is just specifically to our gay.
Sure.
Yeah. If I ask a guy out, that'll be on me. The night is on me. Now, if I'm asked out, I don't expect the other guy to pay for everything. But I would still do the act of, it's like, I look at the bill, out of respect, and I like split.
But you expect him to be like, oh, no.
If he doesn't, that's fine with me too. But I kind of expect that, they would pay for it. But if he doesn't, it's all good. But I'd be like, okay.
I was working, 2-3 years ago, and I was carpooling with my coordinator on the show. I was PAing, and we're stuck in traffic. We're just bullshitting, and we get on the topic of drugs. And I'm like, "Oh, do you still party?" And like, party was always like, "You're doing cocaine," I mean, whatever in my past life, whatever. And he was like, what do you mean by party? I'm like, like maybe do like blow or something. And he's like, oh, like that kind of means something else, And I guess partying is like you're doing poppers and
Yeah, that's party and play. Yeah. You do poppers and then you do sex.
What the fuck is a popper?
meth, I guess.
No, it's not. It's not meth exactly. I've smelled it, but I've never done it. So disclaimer.
I didn't inhale.
What's a popper though?
It's some sort of a chemical that you inhale, and it's supposed to make you feel more sensitive. So
It's like an ecstasy, maybe.
Oh, so when you're
yeah.
taking it up the culo, it feels a little bit better.
or whatever, it's like ecstasy. Like when you go down on someone, it's
Everything's better on ecstasy.
I really hope that our parents don't listen to this episode.
My mom rolls like, I don't know, once every week. She throws on PBS and she's just like,
Does a couple bumps and she's in.
No, she just takes half a tab.
All right.
She knows. But
This would kill my mother if she listened to this episode. Like, my grandmother had just passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's all right. But if she were to listen to this show like tomorrow or like the next day,
It might cheer her up.
oh God, she would be so disappointed in me. Like, this is what you did the night that after your grandma passed away.
We all grieve in different ways.
That's true.
I do
is
like
true.
comedy. I came over to your house last night after I found out, and we goofed around for a while. Well, no, we didn't do poppers and party.
Yeah. Was it Pop and Party?
Poppy party?
Yeah, party and play. PNP.
PNP.
So you go and find a sloppy party bottom.
Sloppy party. There's there's a certain lingo that the gay community has that's
Yeah.
You have to know, huh?
indicates, Yeah.
It's fun. And how do you learn? Like, were you brought under the wing?
No, it's just immersion, pretty much.
Mm.
And sometimes you really just invent words. It's a slang.
And then all of a sudden you say you talk to one gay,
And
he
it-
tells one gay,
It
and then he
trickles down.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had one word that I imported over from the Philippines when I moved here.
you brought a word into
Wow.
the gay
Yeah.
community. What word is it?
Mamu,
Mamu,
Yeah.
which means
which refers to mom or grandmother. So, but I just call everyone Mamu.
you call your gay friends Mamu.
Yes.
Which is
Yes.
grandmother.
Yeah, which is grandmother actually. If
I don't understand. You call your gay friends grandmother?
Well, it's just a thing that I do. Hey, Mama, what's up? Kind of like, it's like a pet name for everyone.
Never call me Manu.
Yeah, never call me
yeah.
Mamu.
It started with UCLA, and then all of a sudden, WeHo people are like, hey, Mama. It's like, what
Damn.
the fuck are you talking about?
You should have
Wow.
trademarked it.
Yeah.
So,
Get T-shirts
right.
with your face on it.
Call me Mamu.
No.
You don't want to be called Mamu.
No.
You want to call people Mamu.
Yes.
What if someone calls you Mamu?
I'm like, what the hell are you talking about?
But what does it mean to you? Is it just kind of like...
It's just like,
a throwaway.
It's just a throwaway term of endearment, so to speak.
So what's current on like the gay vocabulary these days?
Actually, I am not that versed. I think it's more, it's more geek speak nowadays.
Because are you more of a bigger geek than a gay, or are you more of a gay than a geek?
You can't look at it
Yeah.
that way. I'm just gay, period.
Oh, I understand.
But as a gamer, see,
A what?
A
As a
gamer.
A gamer. I thought he said a gay
Merle.
Merle.
No, gamer. J-Y-M-E-R. There is such a thing.
Oh, gays who are also gamers.
Yes.
They just throw
So
in a Y.
we can go big and double back now a little bit. You know a lot of geek gays.
Yes, I do.
Really?
I do.
I would like to meet more of them.
Well, they're spread all over the country, pretty much. But here locally,
Do you have a lot of gay friends in the poster community that do this Mondo? Are there a lot of gays out there?
no, actually, not in Mondo, not the whole Mondo thing.
Mostly straight guys, you find.
Yeah.
No, but then there's a lot. I think there's a lot of closet ones. If you know out there and you're listening from Mondo, those
You know who you are.
if you bought the Tyler Stout Drive posters, I kind of feel that maybe you're hiding something.
You're pretty gay.
Because these Drive posters were just giant pictures of Ryan Gosling. And there were so many guys who were like,
handsome though.
but that's what I'm saying. There's so many guys who are like, I gotta get this poster. And me and Foy were talking, and I was like, I really think that the guys who are like dying obsessive over this are probably a lot of guys who are a little bit got something in the closet.
Well, it's kind of like when Fight Club came out.
Yeah.
And everyone was so into it, and Brad Pitt and all that, Apollo's girl and like the six pack, and I'm like, come on, really? You're
What a jock.
right, but but it's like they're masking the fact that they are admiring Brad Pitt not for his acting chops, but for actually looking ripped.
Because
Let me
until
tell-
you said that, I've got to be honest. This is I want to know. I want everyone to know. This is how I know I'm heterosexual because I've watched Fight Club a million times,
And it's
and
awesome.
until you said that, I never associated Fight Club with anything gay. Thank you, heterosexual Jeremy. One, I know I'm not. That's stupid.
But let me tell you one thing. As for a guy who played high school sports, there was a lot of gay activity that goes on in a locker room by apparently straight guys.
Wow, you saw it?
Oh yeah,
Because I was a chubby fat kid. I was not. I was a fat kid. So I wasn't playing no high school sports. I wasn't on any locker room teams. I was never in a locker room for more than 5 seconds to get dressed and get
The
out.
locker room is the most
What did you see, Kevin? Tell me.
homoerotic
Really?
place ever.
yeah.
Because I played volleyball. I played
Of course
varsity
you did.
volleyball as well. So
Well, I think
Back
there
in
was a
high
lot of
school.
guys that went to high school with that were closet because I hung out with one girl from high school a while back, and she told me that she had friends from high school that I knew that were always saying they were straight, but she told me that they personally told her that when they were in high school they tried their gay whatever, and all these guys would never now admit they're gay. They're all straight, they're all married, but they all apparently not all, a lot, but she told me a few of these guys who I know are straight clearly are not.
Well, that's why I never joined a fraternity because that was one of the reasons. The other is I don't need to be told who my friends will be for my collegiate,
Money,
Time.
right?
But there's a lot of homoerotic behavior in fraternities, like elephant walks and stuff like that. It's where the pledges line up, and they grab their buddy in front of them, their package, and then hold it, and then it's like a chain of just walking
I
around.
never would do that.
No,
I would be like, listen, I'm sorry, I guess I'm not going to be in your fraternity because I won't do it. And it's not because gay, not gay. There's certain things I don't think is right, and that seems odd.
And I saw guys in the locker room
In high school?
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
also went to an all-boys boarding school my last 2 years. So
Okay.
there
you
was
did too, yeah.
You went to a boarding school?
Yes, an all boys Catholic school.
me too.
So I don't have to go into detail, but what did you, like an example for the
It was
audience?
heaven, just so you know.
Yeah,
Was it heaven for you, Kevin?
Not so much. But these guys, I out of a school of maybe 400, I would say that there were 2 openly gay guys there, and they were just destroyed. And I'm sure that there were plenty of guys.
But what happened in the locker room? Go to the locker room. What happened that you saw? Like an example of something.
Just basically jerking off in the shower.
With a bunch of guys like all...
Yeah. Slapping each other's asses, like stuff like that. Like, and yeah.
And that was heaven for you, Freud?
Duh.
And you never saw that kind of stuff?
Oh, I did actually. Yeah. But
Did you join in?
no, I see. That's the thing. I cannot participate, just because first and foremost, I cannot get kicked out of school. I was openly gay in high school, but being in an all boys Catholic
Yeah.
school,
You weren't
that
going to
can be cause for me to be kicked out. So I never participated openly like that.
Yeah, well, but it's just like the jocks. It's the whole thing is gay. They like slap each other's asses and like all that. But
But do you think, either one you can answer, is that like, are they gay and they're keeping that in, or is that and because like I said, there's plenty of guys I went to high school with that I know are straight, who are
Mhm.
married and have kids, but I heard stories to the contrary that in high school they might have
Well, this
You know-
is you're a teenager, you're experimenting, you're trying new things, you're trying what's good for you. So in that umbrella of experimentation, it's all cool because then you realize who you are, what you like to do, what you don't like to do.
yeah,
But I guess everyone's different. I didn't have to touch a penis to
Exactly.
know. I didn't have to touch a penis to know I would rather touch some boobs. I just give
Yeah.
me the big boobs.
first time I touched boobs, I'm like, oh, this is as good as like HBO shows.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't get it. It's such. For me, it's.
I could
such
tell you the first
an
time. I know the
overrated
first
thing.
time I touched a boob. I know the exact spot, time, place, everything.
I also like just the anatomy of a vagina, and this is again, Mom. I tremendously apologize anyone who's offended by the word vagina. Freud, for example.
vagina.
You say
But
it so mad. You're like
it's-
vagina.
it's just fun. There's just more going on down there that you could do.
Really?
In my opinion. I mean, but
But
then
I'm sure
again,
Freud could find more
I've had
to
a
do.
penis for 30 years, and it doesn't do anything for me. Well, that's not entirely true. My own is just a horror show. But, I mean, I couldn't, you know, I'm not turned on, I guess, by my penis.
Well,
And
friends,
not
I
many
think
girls are. either.
I'm really gonna think that right when you talk about how horrid your penis is, I think that's a good segue to say
It's beautiful, ladies.
it's really a pleasure, Freud, for you coming to the
Thank
show. Thank you for sitting in. I hope that nothing we said was offensive.
Yeah.
No, no, of course.
Would you come and hang out with us again? And
Oh yeah, most
because
definitely.
we're gonna have more of these questions.
Sure. Yeah, I hope that I answered your question.
No, I think it was very
I say
educational.
next week we bring in our black friend.
Do we have a black friend?
No.
We're gonna have to find a black friend.
Let's find a black friend.
And every week we could try to do this. We could become like it could be like all the colors of Benetton. We can have everyone come in and everyone can have the different ideals. No, ridiculous,
I
Kevin.
don't know. No, I have plenty of black friends.
Do you want? I was going to ask. Do you want to do a recap?
Yeah, the show was pretty gay today, but good, educational.
I think that's what we're going to call it. I think we're going to call it gay education.
Yeah.
The education.
Gay-education? No.
Gay-education?
I think gay education. Or how about Twink Boy and Bear Cub present?
How about bad takeout? We just found out what we are.
But that could be, that's like existential.
I'm a bear, and you're a twink.
Am I really a twink?
Yes, because you have a very youthful look to about you. And you know,
Hear that,
you know,
ladies?
you know the origin of Twinks?
No.
Twinkies.
Like the delicious treat?
Exactly. I mean, they're golden, sweet, but there's really nothing.
See, I look at you and think of you as a Twinkie because you're yellow on the outside, but you're white on the inside.
That's a banana.
All right, on that note.
All right. Thank you very much for coming. It was a pleasure having you. Kevin, thank you, as always.
Yes,
Everyone,
I'm sweating like Patrick Ewing at the foul line here. We got to wrap this up.
we're going to wrap this up, B. Well, I hope you all enjoyed Bad Takeout. Please go listen at www.badtakeout.com. And we love you. Thanks for coming.